Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm glad that the Majority Leader brought up families, because I seem to remember during the campaign and in the early weeks and months of this session, the other side of the aisle was pretty insistent about how families dealt with financial challenges. You cut your spending. Well, like a lot of families in Minnesota today, my family is one of those. We've taken some pretty sharp financial hits in the last 6 or 8 months. And you know what we did? We cut our spending. We prioritized. We made some long-term decisions. We made some short-term decisions. But unlike that mythical family that the GOP talks about, we did what real families do. We put away the credit card, and we looked for new revenue. We found some. We increased the money coming in a little bit. It's not what it was, but we did what families do. We talked, we prioritized, we cut, and we looked for new jobs and new ways to make money. That's what a family does. What this family is doing, as I see that family sitting around the kitchen table, I'm the dad and I'm saying, honey, on your way to the grocery store, swing by the bank and take out a 20-year mortgage on the food you're going to buy. And when the kids go to bed tonight, once they're asleep, I'm going to sneak in their bedrooms and steal their piggy banks. Because under this bill, we're literally mortgaging the future of the state. We're making the kids of the state pay twice. In Representative Garofalo's bill, we're taking money from their schools, and then we're handing them the bill with the bonding and the borrowing and the mortgaging of the future that we're doing here in the tax bill. You know, members, that's not a family that I recognize. That's putting the dis in dysfunctional when it comes to how real families approach real financial challenges in the real economy in Minnesota today. The Majority Leader was a little thin-skinned about our mocking that mythical family that you folks talked about, because we talked to real families. This budget, this tax bill, mocks Minnesota. It takes us to places we've never gone before because we knew that they were the wrong places to go. To pay $10 for every $7 we borrow. Irresponsible spending. And while you were out telling us that you weren't raising taxes, the first tax bill and the budget was going to raise $1.2 billion in taxes. You can deny it. You certainly did at the time. But you picked and chose who is going to pay taxes. Former Representative Emmer had a piece in the Star Tribune a couple of weeks ago. And he said, you know, if it weren't for Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Duluth, I would have won. Perfectly encapsulating the two-state approach. We're not one Minnesota. We're 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 Minnesotas. The tax bill before did that too. It decided that some people were going to pay more taxes because we didn't like the way they voted. Well, now who's paying taxes? Every property taxpayer in the state. We're picking on the renters and the seniors and the disabled a little bit more, but you folks spent the last 7 months hunting who you were going to raise taxes on. I don't pick between my kids. A family doesn't do that. A family looks at what the kids' needs are. It looks at the budget. It prioritizes the spending. It cuts where it needs to. It looks for some new revenue. And it looks out for the family. This bill fails Minnesota.